listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Hello, everybody. I'm Drew Duncan, host of the Full Court Press. Don't forget, you can always follow me on social media. That's at Drew Duncan 83 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And, of course, you can always follow me on YouTube. That's at Drew Duncan. Something that has been going on over the last couple of years has really been bothering me. No transition there, by the way, in case you didn't notice, but I suppose the description of the video is up top. So it's this whole Jordan, LeBron debate that's been going on now for eons and eons. You know, I remember when Allen Iverson first came into the NBA, everybody said he was going to be the next Michael Jordan. Then Kobe Bryant came in. They said he was going to be the next Michael Jordan. Then LeBron and Carmelo came in, and they were wondering who was going to be the next Michael Jordan out of those two. And the debate used to be who was better, right? Carmelo or LeBron. Of course, that debate has obviously switched over the last couple of years. Who's better, Kevin Durant or LeBron James? But to be honest with you, for a very long time now, I have been absolutely sick and damn tired of who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan. First of all, here's my thing. They both had extraordinary careers. Michael Jordan did something that I don't know that any other player could really do, any athlete could ever really do, and that is leave his game, which was basketball, go play another sport, which was baseball, and then come back and win 3 more titles. I don't know that anybody could ever do that. You take a look at a LeBron James, he's almost seen as many NBA finals as Bill Russell has. That was a feat that nobody thought would ever happen because obviously back then in the days of Bill Russell, there were less teams in the NBA. And so people just decided, well, that'll never happen again because now you've got way too many teams. The competition level has changed, et cetera, and all this stuff. But LeBron is creeping up on that. Now, obviously, he doesn't have as many rings as Bill Russell does or as many rings as even a Michael Jordan does. But does that mean that LeBron James isn't a great player? Look, if the discussion simply boils down to who has the most amount of rings, then technically Robert Horry is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan because he's got 7. So I don't understand where we're getting this whole your career, your legacy, everything that you are is all predicated upon the amount of rings that I can count on somebody's finger. You look across the board, there are great players who will never have a championship ring. Doesn't matter what sport. Dan Marino will never have a championship ring. Tony Romo will never have a championship ring. But yet Tony Romo in all of Dallas Cowboy history is technically the most prolific passer that they've ever had. Period. Better than Troy Aikman. Better than Roger Staubach. It's pretty much all there is to it. You look at John Elway, and a lot of people will tell you that he carried those teams back in the 80s the same way a lot of people would say that LeBron James carried the Cleveland Cavaliers over the last season. Because obviously no Kyrie Irving this year, right? But here's the point that I'm making, and that is when you look at it, rings don't define the individual. They don't define the career. They don't define the characteristics. They don't define anything. It's literally a championship ring is very literally a team sport or a team accomplishment. That's really all there is to it. You have guys that are great leaders and get there more than others, like Jordan, Russell, LeBron, Elway, et cetera. And then you have guys who finish the job a little bit better, Jordan, Brady, et cetera. But just because somebody has X amount of rings, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are a better athlete or a better player. And I'm really getting tired of this debate because there's a couple of things that go into it that really bother me. And that is, number one, you have to diminish the career of one or the other dependent upon whose side that you're on. So if you're on the side of Michael Jordan, you have to say, oh, well, he got swept in the first round, and that never happened to LeBron James. Or if you're a fan of Michael Jordan, you have to go, well, LeBron got swept twice in the NBA Finals. Well, he was also been there twice to the NBA Finals. That's 2 more times than you or I have been there. It really gets to a point where it's almost obsessive when you talk about diminishing these guys' career. And then what you have to do is you have to diminish all the role players that were around him, right? You have to say, well, Jordan had Scottie Pippen, or LeBron had D-Wade and Kyrie Irving, or Chris Bosh, or whatever. And then you have to start diminishing those careers, because if you're on the side of LeBron James, you diminish his career through a Kyrie Irving or a Kyle Korver or a Kevin Love. If you're on the side of LeBron James, then you diminish his career through a Scottie Pippen or through a Dennis Rodman or a Tony Kukoc or whomever the case may be. And the thing about the whole debate is it's really all subjective. I could list any stat I wanted to or any moment I wanted to prove that one is greater than the other, and it really wouldn't all be that difficult. For instance, and this is just a real easy one here for me, I'll never forget when Michael Jordan came back, because all the next day, me and all of my friends, we were all acting like we were Jordan after this happened, and that was he hit the game-winning shot against the Atlanta Hawks. Never forget that. And they were all, it's official, he's back. And I mean, it was an awesome moment. That game was in Atlanta, and those fans went absolutely crazy. I mean, they were huge fans of Jordan, and that happened actually a lot of different places he went. But in this specific instance, Michael Jordan was praised basically by not only the Chicago Bulls, but clearly by the Atlanta Hawks and their fans, because they liked the idea that Michael Jordan came back from retirement and hit the game-winning jump shot. Give you an example about LeBron James. I was watching the NBA Finals, and I noticed whenever he was on the road in Golden State, the fans were booing him. And they were, and every time he touched the ball, he got booed like crazy. But see, though, to me, when I look at it, it's a symptom of both guys are exceptionally great. You see, Michael Jordan was loved. And so because he was loved, people cheered him. It really didn't seem to matter where he went. LeBron James is great. And because LeBron James is great, whenever he touches the ball and he gets booed, that's an acknowledgement by the fans that you're so good that I have to boo you, because I feel like if I boo you, I'm going to be getting inside your mind. I'm letting you know that I don't like how good you are when you're playing against my team. That's how great LeBron James is. But to a lot of other people, they'll hear that example that I just gave and they'll go, well, Jordan was loved by everybody, and that's the difference. And LeBron is being booed because people think he's overrated. That's why they're booing, bro. And I'm sure that there are people who are booing predicated upon that reason. But that's what I see, though, when I see that. And I use that example because you see how quickly that can get subjective? Do you see how quickly I can use that for anything that I want to? It's really that easy. Anybody can go and look up and down a stat sheet and look exactly at anything that they want to and go, well, this is what separates these guys. You want to know what separates guys like LeBron, Jordan, Brady, Elway, Marino from the rest of the pack? There's really three things. Number one, they don't give a damn about what anybody else has to say. Number two, they're winners. Whether it's because they hate losing or whether they just love winning, the bottom line here is that they're winners, and they're always going to be winners, and they act like winners. Number three, their time in their respected sport is so definitive that literally it's all anybody can ever talk about, or athletes like them, because they separate themselves so much so from the pack that they literally create a bar that is almost insurmountable to reach. That's just a state of fact right there. Guys, I'm Drew Duncan. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Are you tired of the LeBron and Michael debate the same way that I am? It's gotten so out of control. People comparing Michael Jordan to everybody. They've even compared him to Tom Brady. I think at some point we're just reaching. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Don't forget to click, like, share, and subscribe. I'm Drew Duncan, found on social media at DrewDuncan83 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, you can always follow my YouTube page, Drew Duncan, as well. Guys, I'm going to be coming up with a lot more videos. And as always, don't you dare touch that dial.
Si el ritmo te lleva a mover la cabeza, ya empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo.